And this is Cooper, the ring-necked dove. Hi,
Yes.
Cooper. You want some little treats? You are watching The Dawn Show live. And of course, during the entire commercial break, Aaron, Cooper was cooing and having a good time, doing his love call.
Now he's a little
and now he
quiet,
stops.
but
He's
hopefully
like,
he'll call for us a little bit. They have these incredibly fast muscles that allow them to make that cooing noise. There he goes. He likes to eat. Now he is a dove, but they are actually pretty much the same bird as a pigeon. Doves and pigeons are in the same family. He's called a ring-necked dove. They're from Africa, and you'll see the reason why he's called a ring-necked dove is because he's got that ring of feathers around his neck.
He's beautiful.
Yeah, he's a gorgeous
kind of
bird.
Off-white, but the eyes are red.
Yeah, so the eye color sometimes has some significance with this particular bird. We believe it's the adults have those bright red eyes, but you will see some variation with the eye color. And he's got that long tail that actually helps him to balance. So when he bobs his head up and down, you'll see that tail coming up and down as well. So
pigeons kind of get a bad rap. I mean, back in the day in Philadelphia, we brought in the peregrine falcons to be a natural predator to get rid of the pigeons. We hear rats with wings and all this stuff.
Right.
Pigeons are actually, they're hero pigeons, and they have a wonderful history.
Yeah, they're incredibly smart animals. In fact, in our new exhibit, our Kids U, we have a couple flocks of pigeons. We have our roller pigeons, which have this crazy rolling flight. We have homing pigeons, and homing pigeons actually, as their name suggests, they have an instinct to come back home.
And kids love the stories about homing pigeons.
Oh yeah, and there was actually one homing pigeon that was a hero that actually saved hundreds of soldiers in World War II. Cherami, she actually was able to get a message back for help. To help save these soldiers, and she was injured, and she kept flying until she got that message back.
I mean, these are great stories of before iPhones and satellites and all this technology.
You had pigeons.
We
that's
had
right.
Pigeons. It's just such a great story.
And we believe that they follow the magnetic rays of the Earth. And that's one way that they can help find their way home. And so when we got our homing pigeons at the zoo, one of the things that we had to do right away was teach them that the zoo was their new home, that Kids U was their new home, so that way they home back to the Kids U.
How do you teach a pigeon?
It takes a couple months of positive reinforcement in their exhibit.
Whoops, okay.
He is fully flighted. In their exhibit, they got lots of reinforcement from their keepers. We made sure it was a nice, safe spot for them, and it was something that was a positive experience for them to come back to.
Tell me a little bit about the Kids Zoo.
It's a great exhibit. We just opened this April. It is a children's zoo, but it's so much more than a children's zoo. We have our rare breeds of domestic animals. We actually have some goats that were just born this past spring. We have Arapawa goats. There's only about 300 of them left in the world, and we just had 4 babies, so now there's 304 of them left in the world. You're seeing some shots of our Kids U inside, our giant ant. This is an interactive exhibit where kids can go in, they see budgies, we have a coral reef, we've got insects, our insect barn, and they're learning how they can make daily choices in their lives, like recycling and turning off lights, and how that has an impact on animals. You saw the recycling chuck, and they actually are learning that by recycling, they're saving budgies, and they can actually look at a computer screen and see how many budgies they saved by recycling those everyday items that they see in their daily life. So
this is so great. It's so important. I mean, it's really science. It's not just seeing the animals, but for a lot of kids and grown-ups, they haven't grown up around animals.
Oh, sure.
And you can tell when you go to the zoo and you see people and they're just, and it's just, it's different than Animal Planet or watching it on TV.
You have that authentic experience where you're actually getting to see animals live, hear, smell, feel, and it is connected to science. So they're learning science when they're here, but they're also having so much fun that they may not necessarily remember the science that they're learning. They just remember the concepts.
I mean, obviously you're an animal lover. Did you start as a little girl just being?
Yeah, I always loved animals. I loved being outside, and I actually studied ecology in school. And then I found my way to the zoo. And like so many other people that are leaders at the zoo, I started by volunteering and interning, and worked my way up that way. So volunteering at the zoo is a great way to get your foot in the door.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't realize you have great internship programs. And I want to talk about the camps. My 9-year-old is going to go to one of your camps this summer.
Wildlife Warrior Camp. Yeah, it's brand new. They'll be meeting some of our pigeons. You can actually, some of our wildlife warriors today at 2 o'clock are going to be out there with their hands out, meeting some of our pigeons. We have some other animals that you'll see that campers will get to meet They do science experiments.
Oh my goodness, look at this gorilla.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
This is one of our Western lowland gorillas and our wildlife warriors up close, literally up close.
It's amazing.
This
look
is
at this.
one of our up close experiences. Each camper gets 2 up close experiences each week. It's one of our giant tortoises. This was right from last week, actually, at the zoo.
It's so much fun. We're going to give more information on the camps because there's some of them are still open.
Yes.
So we'll have all that information. Stay right here. We have a porcupine in the house coming right up. Talking about the Philadelphia Zoo and all of the fun summer events. A lot is new at the zoo, America's first zoo here in Philadelphia. And we've been talking to Erin McCool DeLong, who's the Director of Outreach Programs. And we have with us an amazing creature. This is Fauna, the porcupine.
She's a North American porcupine, yes.
She's so sweet. People don't realize these creatures are just so docile and sweet.
Well, you know, and part of that is a testament to how we take care of her. I mean, she's really comfortable, so it's really easy to work with her if she's feeling really comfortable. And she is covered with 30,000 quills, so it's important that we keep her nice and comfortable, and so she's nice and sweet to work with.
And Erin, a lot of people, you know, in the old movies, and they have the porcupine shooting a quill, but they don't actually shoot a quill.
It's my favorite myth. It's a complete myth. They don't shoot their quills. Their quills are actually modified hair, so you can imagine if your hair stuck straight out. And her sharpest quills are back on her tail. You don't see them right now because she's relaxed and they're kind of pointing down. But when she gets alarmed or disturbed in the wild, they'll show their quills, and they're designed so if a dog or if another animal gets too close and they touch those quills, the quills will stick into the skin of the predator per se. So
she loves her little cookies.
She loves them. They're rodent blocks, and
which are no meat, right?
There's no meat, and she's actually a type of rodent. She's one of the largest rodents in Pennsylvania, the second largest, the largest being the beaver. And so one of the ways that you can tell that she's a rodent, she's got those really bright orange teeth, and she has to constantly chew on nice tough things like her rodent blocks to keep them nice and healthy. And
she almost sounds congested, not that she is, but she...
Yes, they are such loud eaters. It's amazing. And you know, they...
it's almost like a dog. Like,
it is.
You know.
They remind me so much of dogs. And once they are used to working with their keepers, they are really attuned to people. In fact, our wildlife warriors, this is one of their behind the scenes experiences. They go to the Kids U and they will go into the porcupine exhibit and actually feed them some rodent blocks. It's our top, one of our favorite special experiences of our campers over the past couple weeks.
Well, Erin, this is in my house. This is the biggest thing ever. My 9-year-old Michael is going to do the program where he spends the night at the zoo.
Oh, yes.
So for kids, and a lot of these programs, and you know, you've got to go to the philadelphiazoo.org, and we'll give you all that information because there are some camps still open. This is an amazing event.
Yes. We have our summer day camp, which is our Wildlife Warriors camp, and we also have some family overnights coming up, July 13th, 14th, and 18th. And there's still room in those camps as well, where you can actually bring the whole family and stay overnight at the zoo, wake up with the porcupines and the peacocks. It's a great program. So,
which is pretty amazing because in the night, some animals will come alive.
Oh, sure.
And it's a completely different feel than being in the day where there are people and so on and so forth.
My favorite thing about the overnight programs is you camp out on our what we call the Impala lawn, and there's a great view of the zoo balloon, and then behind it the city skyline. So if you like to camp, imagine waking up and the city skyline is behind you and the zoo balloon is right there. It's just a beautiful, gorgeous atmosphere.
It's amazing. Yeah. And also for the kids that you teach them, and you want them to be sort of eco warriors or eco heroes, right?
We really want everyone who leaves the zoo, whether it be as for a general visit or a summer ale or a camp program, to really feel empowered to join us in taking these actions to help save wildlife. Even the simplest little things. I read a statistic that if 1 million children turned off their computers for an hour, it would be like taking 15,000 cars off the road. So
how cool is that?
Yeah.
Let's show the information, Erin, one more time, so that if you want to get involved in any of these programs, go to the camps. I love the camp out.
Yes.
All the different day camps, the overnight. Of course, July 20th, the Ale Fest. This raises money for the zoo.
There's something for everyone.
There is, and it's really about being eco-friendly, and it's a way that you can make your world a better place, but also have fun while you're doing it,
That's right. That's right. It's all about having fun.
Erin, thank you so much.
Thank
you.
you.
Fauna's getting the cookies over here. We'll see you tomorrow at 11 a.m. right here on The Dawn Show.